Hello, nature lovers and curious minds. My name is Jasmine, and welcome back to Common Myths channel. Today, we're peeling back the layers of mystery surrounding the life of the influential philosopher, Henry David Thoreau. There's a lot of hearsay and misconceptions about this fascinating individual, and we're here to separate the fact from the fiction. So, before we embark on this journey into Thoreau's world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more enlightening content. Our first myth: Thoreau lived in complete isolation at Walden Pond. It's easy to picture Thoreau as a hermit, living alone in the woods, far removed from society. But the reality is a touch different. Thoreau did live in a cabin near Walden Pond, a choice he made to explore a simple life closer to nature. However, complete isolation was not part of his agenda. His cabin was a mere mile and a half from his family home in Concord, Massachusetts. Thoreau made regular trips into town, sometimes daily, to have his meals, to gather news, or to see his family. His solitude at Walden Pond was often interrupted by curious visitors and friends who dropped by for stimulating conversations. So, if you thought Thoreau was a lone wolf, think again. He enjoyed a bit of company too. Myth number 2, Thoreau hated technology. Now, this is a fascinating one. Some people believe that Thoreau was a hardcore technophobe, that he despised anything to do with modern advancements and progress. But the truth is a bit more complex than that. Yes, Thoreau was critical of certain aspects of progress, but it's not accurate to say that he was against technology as a whole. In fact, he appreciated the benefits that came with innovation and understood the potential it had to improve lives. He was, however, wary of how these advancements could distract from the simple pleasures of life and how they could create unnecessary complications. So if you thought Thoreau was anti-tech, that's a bit of a myth. His views were more nuanced. He wasn't a Luddite, but a thoughtful critic who saw both the pros and cons of progress. Now, let's tackle Thoreau was always super serious. While it's true that Thoreau was a deep thinker and a keen observer of life, he was far from being perpetually stern or solemn. In fact, he was known to have a playful side. He enjoyed humor, wordplay, and even a good prank now and then. He was a firm believer in the power of laughter and joy as necessary elements of a well-rounded life. His writings reflect this too, often showcasing a wry wit and a keen sense of the absurd. The people who knew him personally attested to his lively spirit and his ability to find amusement in the everyday. So, if you've been picturing Thoreau as a perpetually serious, brooding philosopher, it's time to revise that image. Behind that thoughtful exterior was a man who knew the value of a good laugh. If you pictured Thoreau as a perpetually serious guy, that's a myth. He had his moments of laughter and joy. Myth number 4, Thoreau was a lazy nature lover. Now, this couldn't be further from the truth. Picture this: Henry David Thoreau, a man who truly savored the beauty of the natural world, but not from a hammock with a book in hand. No, Thoreau was an active nature enthusiast, an avid walker who covered miles through the wilderness, not simply to bask in the glory of nature, but to study it, to understand it, to connect with it. He wasn't just a passive observer. He was a hands-on naturalist who engaged in manual labor, whether it was maintaining his cabin, planting beans, or surveying woodlots. He knew that to truly appreciate nature, one needed to engage with it, to work with it, to be a part of it. So, if you thought Thoreau was a nature couch potato, that's far from the truth. He was a nature enthusiast with a hands-on approach. Last myth: Thoreau was unappreciated in his time. It's often believed that our friend Thoreau was a diamond in the rough, his brilliance only acknowledged posthumously. However, this is a slight misconception. Thoreau did have his share of recognition during his own era. He was known among intellectual circles, gave lectures at esteemed establishments, and even saw his work published. So, if you thought Thoreau never got his due credit in his lifetime, that's a bit of a myth. He had some recognition while he was around. Thanks for joining our journey through Thoreau's world. We've debunked some common myths and shed light on the complexities of this fascinating individual. Remember, history isn't always black and white. It's a colorful tapestry of truths, half-truths, and myths. And it's our job to separate fact from fiction. If you crave more such enlightening content, make sure to subscribe. We have a world of wisdom waiting for you. Until next time, stay curious and explore the wonders of nature. Take care and see you next time. Bye-bye.